It's time for high school sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Today's broadcast of high school sports on the NCWLIFE channel is presented by Alignment Pros, Automoca, Color FX, Global Car Care, One Way Construction, and the Windmill Restaurant. NCWLIFE channel's coverage is also brought to you by Charter College and the Walkabout Grill. Now let's go live for all the action for tonight's coverage of high school sports on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel.
Good evening, soccer fans. Welcome to Liebofto Field here at the Apple Bowl. I'm along with Matt Wiesen. I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCWLIFE channel as we get ready for the regular season finale for the Wenatchee Panthers. It's senior night. It's all part of homecoming week here at Liebofto Field as we have, well, Matt, really a mismatch. I mean, you've got Eisenhower coming in. They're winless in Big Nine. They've only got one win on the season overall. Meanwhile, the Wenatchee Panthers eager to get in the win column after dropping a couple after that tough match with Eastmont.
Yeah, it really wasn't much of a contest at Ike. But, you know, it's high school ball, and I know what the rallying cry is going to be for Eisenhower. We got to win one.
Yeah.
And we can play the spoiler and all those things. So does Wenatchee take their foot off the pedal expecting a similar kind of outcome, or and does Ike step it up and maybe surprise them for a goal or two and make it a different game?
Yeah. Well, and that's why we roll it out there and play the game. The one thing that we need to clear up, which is completely murky right now, is the postseason. Now, if you go by the league website, which is what I go through to get all of my standings and such, it's not right. The point total is not right. And so basically what Wenatchee needs to do here tonight is win and score 3 goals.
3 goals and a shutout. They'll get the max 6 points, and they'll lock down second place.
Which means, importantly, not a play-in game this Saturday. That'll mean they'll get a bye, and they'll wait till next Tuesday to start the district tournament.
Yeah, and they'll host that game.
Yeah.
And we'll see. You know, this should be fun.
Yeah. Right now, it's between Wenatchee, Eastmont, and Moses Lake. Now, Moses Lake plays at Davis tonight, and then they finish with Eastmont in Moses Lake. Eastmont's off tonight, so there's still a lot to be determined. But for Wenatchee, unlike the last 2 games where they could have wrapped it up themselves, they have a chance to at least wrap up their near future tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't expect Wenatchee to take their foot off the gas.
Yeah, no.
More of a storyline, but like you say, they're going to be motivated, and they want to get a goal right off the bat and put the game behind them.
We're going to talk to John Springer, head coach for Wenatchee, about that scenario and about senior night here at Liebofto Field. It's the Wenatchee Panthers and the Eisenhower Cadets coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. It's brought to you in part by the Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Walnut Street in Wenatchee, thefireplaceguy.net. Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. And the Windmill Restaurant, providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homely, old-fashioned dining room. Call 509-665-9529.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Pre-game show continues here on the NCWLIFE channel as head coach John Springer joins us for the Wenatchee Panthers. Well, John, I know a special night anytime you have senior night.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot of fun for the girls. I think every coach would agree senior night's not necessarily the most focused night is the only concern we generally have. But, you know, these seniors have had a great run the last 4 years, and I'm really proud of them.
Well, aside from that, it's homecoming week, too, so
there's a whole lot
that
going on
whole
this
thing,
week.
powder puff and all this kind of stuff
Yeah,
going
you know,
on.
fortunately, we've got a bye on Thursday, so if we can focus tonight, and then it allows, they've survived powder puff last night, no major injuries, but they've got, there's something every single night this week, culminating with the dance, and, you know, the girls, they want to they're already thinking about their dress and their hair and everything else. So yeah, we got to get through this one and we'll be good to go.
Well, and we were talking here just before you joined us, Matt and myself, that Ike would love nothing more than to get a win and get that one win against you guys here tonight on the road.
Absolutely. Yep. And they've come close a couple times this season. They're going to bring it. So we had a tough week last week, and I was really proud of our bounce back effort against West Valley. The girls really showed up to play well. Just came out on the short end, but yeah, we've got to learn that Moses game. We just didn't come out with enough energy, so hopefully we can find that tonight.
Was that kind of a hangover, if you will, from that tough game against Eastmont where you pick up the win, or what do you think that was?
I have no idea. I mean, I told the girls afterwards that was just a clunker.
Yeah.
I mean, we just didn't show up. Moses wanted it more than we did, and really, it's one of the first times, really, in the 6 years I've been coaching that we've shown up to a home game and just not brought it. So I thought we looked young, in that game,
Sure.
and we are. I thought the seniors played well, but it's just a matter of finding that consistent effort all the time. So.
For fans, it's extremely confusing to look at, because we go by the league website. The league website says one thing, and now I learned that we can't trust it. Basically, you, in order to not have to worry about Saturday, win by 3, shutout, go to Tuesday, right? No matter what happens.
Right. We don't need a shutout. We just need 3 goals scored.
Okay.
And a win. Okay. So if we can get a win and 3 goals scored, then we will do no worse than second and be able to play on Tuesday instead of Saturday.
Of course, a lot to be said about Moses Lake. They've got a game tonight. They've got a game on Thursday against Eastmont.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting, no matter what.
Yeah, things can. Right, absolutely. Things, nothing's solidified yet. Certainly, Moses Lake controls their own destiny, and they deserve it. They've taken it to us both times. So. They're a strong team. So, but yeah, Eastmont's proven they can beat Moses already, and they may get that chance to do it again.
Let's talk real quick about health. How are you as you get ready for the postseason here?
I think we're good. I think everybody seems healthy. Greta Jarecki's been out for a couple of weeks with a kind of a high ankle sprain, and she's coming back. She played a little bit in the Moses game, but just didn't trust herself. And West Valley, she didn't go. It was on the grass, and the ankle just wasn't feeling right. So we'll get a few minutes today, and hopefully we get another week for her to rest up, and then we should have everybody 100%.
Good. Well, best of luck tonight. Keep everybody healthy.
Thanks,
and
Eric.
finish it off strong.
We'll do what we can.
All
Thanks,
right,
Eric.
there you go.
Appreciate
John
it.
Springer joining us here on the pregame show. We'll come back at the lineups here on senior night and get you ready for kickoff here at Liebofto Field at the Apple Bowl. It's Wenatchee and Eisenhower coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frappitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Welcome back once again to Liebofto Field at the Apple Bowl. The Wenatchee Panthers have just come out of the locker room, and they are assembled across the far side here. And you see the banners along the railing across the way on the Pioneer side as well, celebrating the seniors here tonight. And nice touch, Matt, to have John Springer put all 9 seniors in the starting lineup this evening.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Their parents have supported them for a long time, and it's nice for them to get there and see them start on the pitch one last time.
Well, and think about, and John alluded to the fact of what a career at Wenatchee High School, and look at all the things that they've accomplished in those 4 years, not varsity necessarily all the time, but they've played a lot of great soccer here.
Oh, yeah, it's probably the most successful 4 years in program history.
I imagine so. Let's take a look at the lineups here as they announce the non-starters here for the Eisenhower Cadets, coming in with a record of 1-12 overall. They're 0-10 in Big 9 play, and it's one of those where people might go, "Why are you broadcasting that?" Well, we set the broadcast schedule if it was in August when we set the broadcast schedule, so you just never know. But here we go. The lineups is announced by their head coach Noe Gutierrez. He's assisted by Rafael Valle, Ana Lamas, and Katie Allen. Starting
will be Madison Pitharulis, who's a senior. She wears number 3. Caitlin Leach wears number 5. She's a sophomore. Kennedy Leach is a junior, wears number 8. Brianna Rivera is number 9. She's a junior. Abby Womack is a senior. She wears number 11. America Flores is number 12. She's a freshman. Yvette Peral is a senior. She wears number 13. Emma Estrada is a freshman. She wears number 14. And number 15 is Valerie Lopez, a junior. In goal, they didn't know this and didn't decide it until right before the lineups were announced here. In goal will be the sophomore, Alyssa Padilla. So that's the lineups here for the Eisenhower Cadets. Meanwhile, the Wenatchee Panthers, as we mentioned, 11-4 overall, 8-3 in Big Nine. Right now, in position to lock down the number 2 seed heading into the district tournament. And here are the starters, as announced by John Springer. He's assisted by Kirsten Brown and Kevin Reister. Getting the start tonight is Kate Springer, a senior. She wears number 1. Allie Clark is a sophomore, number 2. And we've got the anthem. So we'll get you the rest of the starters right after this timeout on the NCWLIFE channel.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. OneWayConstructionNW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service, located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. Nice job on our anthem here tonight at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Thanks for joining us for Big Nine soccer tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel. Let's get a look at the rest of the lineup here for the Wenatchee Panthers. Also getting the start tonight will be Madison Smith. She wears number 4. She is a junior. Jaden Griggs, her senior year finally upon us, and her final regular season game in a Wenatchee Panther uniform. What a career she has had. She wears number 8. Emmy Coldy is a senior, wears number 9. Tanya Ocampo is a senior, wears number 12. Ellie Toth is number 13, also a senior. Also getting the start for Coach Springer tonight, Isabel Palayo is a senior. She wears number 15. Maggie Miller's number 16, a senior. Kenya Ortega will start in goal as a senior. And normally Haley Matthews also getting a lot of playing time and starting in goal. She'll be out there. She wears number 21 and getting a chance to play in the field tonight as John Springer gets all 9 of his seniors into this one. So here we go, just about ready to go on the NCWLIFE channel. Usually the stands here on the near side are empty and vacant. They don't even let people in here, but we've got some Ike fans. In fact, I think the junior varsity is here. The junior varsity game prior to this one was a 3-0 contest with Wenatchee coming out on top, and that's exactly what the varsity would like to duplicate here this evening. So Jaden Griggs will come near side here on the kickoff. And our kickoff brought to you by Swoboda Photography, creating a custom boutique experience on location or at their studio in Leavenworth. Call 509-888-6654 for more information. Swoboda Photography, thanks for their sponsorship all season long. On our action that starts here with Eisenhower and a throw-in here near side. As Kennedy Leach throws it in, the ball ricochets out of bounds off of Eisenhower. Will be in inbounds here for throw-in for the Wenatchee Panthers. Trying to find Kate Springer out in the middle. That'll be picked up by Ocampo. Ocampo feeds it back to Palayo. Up the far side it goes. Very difficult to see the numbers on these black uniforms with numbers that are black trimmed in gold. Battle out towards midfield there by Ocampo. As we get underway here tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. ball off the left foot of Caitlin Leach, the sophomore. Comes on the touchline here near side. And the ball booted from the near sideline by Wenatchee's Maggie Miller. Well, Matt, one thing we talked about, just getting the ball thrown in and getting it down there and getting a goal early and starting fast in this. You don't want to overextend yourself, right?
Yeah, true. But the last couple of times I've watched Eisenhower, they're really slow, and they really struggle to build the ball out of the back. They're a prime team.
Well, here's an opportunity for Wenatchee with the strike and the goal scored by Haley Matthews. How about that for Haley? On the attack, she's normally at the other end of things in goal for Wenatchee, but she gets the first goal of the contest here in the second minute.
Yeah, that was a good put away. Good job just keeping calm and finding a corner and picking it out and putting the ball in the back of the net. What I was saying earlier is that Eisenhower's defense has struggled to possess the ball and build out of the back, and that's the first start of the attack. If they're just kicking it, then everything else is going to happen randomly for there on out. So Eisenhower's a prime candidate for Wenatchee to press high on, force them, challenge them to play a good ball out of the back. And so far I haven't seen that. And it results in turnovers, and you can keep the pressure on their goal in the attacking third, where shots get generated really quickly.
Ball turned around by Kennedy Leach. She brings it out near midfield, but it picked up there by Isabel Palayo for Wenatchee. As the Panthers working on the far sideline here on the artificial surface at Lee-Bofto Field here at the Apple Bowl. Wenatchee up 1-0. Centering, trying to find Jaden Griggs out there. A prolific career regular season coming to a close here at the Apple Bowl. Of course, Wenatchee in position to be hosting a game, but they don't want that to be Saturday. They'd like that to be next Tuesday in the district tournament. Ball picked up by Emma Estrada for Eisenhower. Feeds ahead to Pitharoulas, but the ball quickly turned aside by Wenatchee's defense. And now lofting the ball ahead for Pitharoulas is Eisenhower, but she's got a 1-on-4 back there, as the Panthers do well to retreat defensively. Feed it up the far sideline do the Panthers. And I can tell right away, man, I'm going to be using the binoculars more than I'll be using my spectacles.
Yeah, those numbers are really hard to pick out.
They are definitely hard.
A dark purple on black just doesn't quite stand out.
My first time calling a Wenatchee game here at home. By the way, we send our wishes out to Sebastian, who normally is here doing these games. Sebastian not feeling so good, so I got the call. Then I'm here.
Yeah, hopefully it's not the flu. Good reminder for everybody to get the flu shot.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing about it, and they offered the flu shot here at our office here last week, is that I was still recovering from my illness myself, and so if you're ill, you can't get the flu shot.
No.
Ball comes out on the touchline here near side. So Eisenhower will bring it back in here as Sarah Valdivinos is out there in the starting lineup. They didn't have her as a starter on the initial sheet, and I didn't see a substitution. Did that happen while I wasn't looking?
It
could have, I suppose.
I didn't see one either.
So Valdivinos out there, and she moved up from the junior varsity for Eisenhower. Wenatchee up 1-0 here, early going in the 6th minute of this Big Nine contest here tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. That ball will go out of bounds, and so Jaden Griggs will have the throw in down in the left corner. She'll throw it in looking for Matthews again. And that's something to keep in mind too, Matt, that I think people, you kind of get pigeonholed in a position. Haley Matthews, a great goalkeeper for Wenatchee, but, she's played more than just goal, right?
Yeah, I'm sure
in her
practice
time, all
in
through
her
club
time,
and everything else.
She's played other positions. Just as a coach, it's great to get her out on the pitch once in a while. If she's been in goal for very long, more than a few seasons straight, the mechanics of your body change.
Sure.
And so when they play out on the field, it's a totally different story, and injuries can occur a lot easier that way.
Yeah.
So you do have to keep
that's true.
heads up, maybe play some limited time out on the pitch, unless she's frequently playing on the pitch in practice.
Right. Madison Smith picked up the ball momentarily for Wenatchee. Kate Springer has it over there now. They feed it again to Smith up into the far corner. She goes, trying to find a center pass. She does, and a touch attempt by Matthews was there, just off of her right foot.
Yeah, that came through. I thought somebody was going to get a toe on it somehow. That's when you got to kind of
just on the weak side there was Jaden Griggs too.
Yeah,
so
just sell out, slide in, and try and get that foot out as far as you can.
Ball rooted away from the goal by America Flores, but Wenatchee right there again. Griggs had a chance at it and turning the ball the other way. Ocampo up into the corner again. Here we go with another approach by Wenatchee. And instead, this pass will go right to the goalkeeper for the Cadets, Alyssa Padilla. Our broadcast tonight brought to you in part by the Alignment Pros and Express Lube. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube, including front and four-wheel alignment online at alignpros.com or at 182 Eastmont Avenue. Also by Automoca. What's your Automoca emergency? Visit one of their 6 locations in the Valley, including the only Automoca with inside seating on 5th Street across from the college. Whistle sounds by our officiating crew here. It'll be a free kick for Wenatchee. Out towards midfield. Ball skims across, and here's Jaden Griggs going to collect it. Near side. Heads up with a pass, and then they try to feed it right back to her. Ball splits the defense off the foot of Ellie Toth. One thing, if you are just joining us, you haven't listened or seen a broadcast on the NCWLIFE channel, and Matt Wisen. Matt, give us a little bit of your background. Longtime coach here in the Wenatchee Valley, North Central Washington.
Yeah, it's well, I guess I started as a little kid playing rec in Wenatchee soccer, and went on to play high school ball. Was all conference player for Wenatchee High School and John Spencer. Went on, played some indoor stuff like that through college. Came back. Actually, right after high school, I was a JV coach for a while, assistant JV coach for Wenatchee High School. Came back and coached a little bit. First taste of coaching at that point. Came back and really got back into it once I had kids, and they were of playing age. So, right around 2004 or so, I started coaching again.
Okay.
With the rec side, and then went on to, at the time it was Fire Select. Coached all through that, couple teams at a time, year round. Let's see. So pretty much every position available,
right,
other than treasurer at Wenatchee Soccer Club, and then Wenatchee Fire, and then Wenatchee FC, ultimately president. And still in it, assistant coaching once in a while, and volunteering mostly when I can. So, and being a parent.
The great thing about that, aside from expertise with the game, is we get a feed here to Jaden Griggs. She's got bodies either side of whatever she wants to do here, and she'll just take the shot herself. It ricochets off of a body and then picked up by Wenatchee back there. Panthers still trying to keep it in here as it comes near side, and then a chip ahead trying to feed Matthews again. And I think Wenatchee's going to be offside here. And so it will be over to Eisenhower. The great thing about this, from my perspective, at least when I do these games, because I know very little about soccer, and I'll be the first to admit that, is to get your insight on the game within the game that's going on. But also the fact that a lot of these girls out here that we watch play in the fall and then the boys in the spring, you've been around them for a long time. You know them. You've had a chance to coach them.
Yeah. Not so much the girls, but I have coached them a little bit. But I've obviously watched them play for quite a while and know them at club and know them in high school. And it's been a blast to be able to watch these ladies and the guys play and mature and get old. Now I'm going to almost going to some weddings here pretty soon to watch some of my old players grow up, go to college, stuff like that. It's full circle. I ran into an old player the other day, and he's coaching his own rec team in Kashmir.
Oh, okay. All right.
Allie Clark with a shot on goal there for Wenatchee, with 3 shots on goal here in this first half, as we're now in the 11th minute. Eisenhower trying to make an approach here, but Wenatchee again right there defensively. No trouble with that as they feed to Palaio. Near side it comes up to Griggs. Then back it goes to Ocampo out towards midfield. Ocampo will pick it up there. Kate Springer was looking for it. They're just going to let this ball feed back to the goalkeeper for Wenatchee getting the start tonight. In goal is Kenya Ortega. John, when he was telling us his starters tonight, said he calls her Kenny. Feed ahead for Matthews. Matthews turns and to Clark. Allie had the ball stripped from her, but out towards midfield. Wenatchee right there again. Panthers good separation here. Good ball control throughout. Maggie Miller near sideline. Wanted to feed down to Jaden Griggs, but the ball will go off the end line and will be a goal kick here for Eisenhower. As we're in the 13th minute of this one, we're going to get a substitution for the Cadets. Out of the lineup comes Estrada, and in for the first time will be Natalie Rodriguez, sophomore wearing number 7, into the contest for Eisenhower. The goal kick picked up by Wenatchee. Griggs, little missed connection right there. But again, Ocampo helped to clean it up here for the Panthers. Tried to triangulate that one. Ball knocked away. Miller got her foot in there. And then she'll collect it back here near midfield. Putting it out of bounds for Eisenhower, Kennedy Leach. And a throw in for Wenatchee. And doing the honors will be Maggie Miller. She'll feed it in to Matthews, and Haley turned the ball and then picked up by Ike, but out it comes to Ocampo, far side for Wenatchee, as they'll find Allie Clark again streaking up that far sideline in the right corner. Nice stop there, and the left-footed center. Kate Springer tried to head it to heads, and here's the shot and the goal for Wenatchee. As the goal was scored by Ellie Toth.
That was a nice, I believe that was a left foot turn on that one and struck it just perfect. Keeper didn't pick it up until too late. Well, good job, Ellie.
And we were talking about you doing a little coaching. You had a little conversation with Ellie before the game tonight.
I wanted John and Kirsten, Coach Kirsten, to do the coaching. I found something that just a little tiny things that get tweaked, and as a coach, you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
So
no.
Went and had a conversation with them, and they already knew what was going on. But they said, good job. We just found that, and we're just working with her right now on it.
Well, it's good to hear the confirmation that your eyes are still seeing the game.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
No, you can't turn it off, and it can be a blessing and a curse. I've lost way too many hours of sleep just thinking the game and going through.
Sure. But that's a passion, though.
It is, and it's one of those sports that I don't know any other sport that has coaches that are as passionate as soccer. This game has really brought me, brought lots of friends into my life that are light years above me in coaching. A couple of them have coached the Women's World Cup team. One of them was responsible for finding Mia Hamm at the World Up. She's arguably the most successful U.S. soccer player
of all
time. Yep. So, and some of the men's World Cup coaches and whatnot, and I can email them, I can call them up and just chat. And they'll come into town and we'll just sit and go to a pub or something, and all of a sudden we got 15 of us around talking the sport until they close down and kick us out.
Abby Womack with a free kick there and right into the clutches of Kenya Ortega. Nice job by Kenya. The first real shot on goal here for Eisenhower in this one, as a whistle came against Wenatchee on a penalty, and a free kick from the right side about 12 yards away, and nice job by Ortega to play the defense here. Now Wenatchee on a offensive attack going the other way. Ellie Toth in the corner, who just collected a goal moments ago, and now a center, and there again it was Matthews, Haley Matthews, right in front on the doorstep, but a nice job by Padilla to make a stop.
That was a great all-around. Perfect pass back, or just away from the keeper. Great one-touch strike, turn and strike, and then great reaction save.
Ball in the Eisenhower attack zone here as they, again, Wenatchee does a nice job as trying to sprint in was Pitharulis. But the ball knocked out of bounds, or nearly out of bounds here near side. Comes up along the sideline, and that's where Jaden Griggs will battle for it. And coming over and tapping it out of bounds is Abby Womack. And so a throw in for Wenatchee. As coming up, Ellie Toth will throw it in. Or no, it wasn't Toth that threw it in. Toth received the throw in for Maggie Miller. These ponytails obscuring the back number on the jerseys as well. So hard enough to see the black on black. Then throw a ponytail in the mix as well.
Yeah, I gave up.
Well, that's where you knowing the girls and what they look like helps a great deal there, Matthew.
Yeah, well, and they kind of change their appearance when it comes to club ball versus high school ball. And put the jersey on them. It's and then, not that I'm getting any younger.
with the eyesight, yeah. I know about that. That's for sure.
I'll blame the dirty glass in front of us.
Oh, okay.
Bad reflection.
Well, I can't do that because I got the window open. Into the contest comes Emma Estrada here for Eisenhower, as they don't have a lot of bodies to substitute here on the near sideline. Panther hit the turf over there. There's Jaden Griggs going to try to steal the ball away, and now a shot going to be taken, and then it goes off her hands into the goal, and another score for Haley Matthews.
That was a great shot. Just good pace and a bouncing ball, difficult to control.
Well, give credit to Jaden Griggs being stingy there right in front of the doorstep and saying, no, we're going to keep this ball right in here. And then the feed, and it just trickled off the hands of Padilla into the goal it goes. And Haley with 2 tallies here in the first half.
Yeah, and that's that high press that we were talking about earlier, making it challenging for Eisenhower to play out of the back and winning the ball back in a position where you can immediately shoot again.
Panthers on the aggressive again here on the far sideline, come middle of the field. Toth will feed it ahead. Jaden Griggs not going to be able to catch up with this one. It'll be through the end line and a goal kick here in the 19th minute. So Haley Matthews getting a chance to get the start out of goal tonight. 2 tallies for Wenatchee in the 2nd minute, and moments ago here in the 18th minute. As Wenatchee's on top 3-0. Well, there's your 3 goals that you wanted to accomplish. Part of the task is done. Lizette Bueno will now come in for Eisenhower. And the goal kick comes out to about the 30-yard line, and that's where Haley Matthews again is just going to fire again towards the goal. Boy, she got 2 trying to get the hat trick here tonight.
I think Wenatchee just found their new number 9 player up top. She's going to be doing.
Yeah, she's going to. You sure you want to put me in goal there, Coach? And her percentage of strikes per goal, going to be pretty high too. Conversion rate of about 80% right now for Haley Matthews. Ball comes out of bounds near side. A reminder, our broadcast brought to you by Color Effects, offering screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, and logo design for your team, school, business, or church at a fair price. Locally owned for over 20 years. Call Color Effects at 509-741-7609. Again, I just really have a difficult time of getting any offense together, although a chance there, but the ball will skim out of bounds on the far sideline. It'll be a throw-in for Wenatchee.
Yeah, it's kind of rare, actually. I'm looking up, and they have three players up on the front line. They've been playing with 1. And I think they're really worried of getting gutted by Wenatchee, but they don't have any other choice now. They're having to push numbers.
Absolutely. The ball gets away from their keeper, and here's Jaden Griggs, and the ball will trickle off of a foot back there, and a good job of filling the gap as Padilla came out by Abby Womack, and she will put the ball out of bounds near side. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, just about saw another one there.
In the 21st minute, go ahead, Matt.
Oh, I was just going to another commentary about the game. And
here's Haley Matthews again with a shot on goal, this time picked up by Padilla. Go ahead.
And, and just when this game can be interpreted so many different ways, and it's something I'm always reminded of. Like I said when I'm talking to my friends about this game, we can watch the game and then go through our notes about it, and out of 5 of us, we might have 5 different opinions.
Sure.
There's no real one way to watch a game, and that's something that's special about this game. And so my opinion a lot of times can be completely different than somebody else's because they have different experiences with the game.
Sure.
And I might be a little more attacking minded and see the game completely different than a coach who's been mostly defense all his life.
Sure.
Or her life.
Sure, because you're seeing what they are or are not doing on the attack end, while what that other coach might be looking for is how they're playing the defense side.
Yeah. So it's always keeps me challenged. And, so I just want to remind the audience that sometimes I might come off like I'm all high and mighty or know all this stuff about the game, but I know my friends listen to me a lot, and they're like, man, what are you
looking
about?
at? Well, that's good. You got friends that can keep you in low places.
They do.
A whistle here will sound and look like we had maybe a handball against Eisenhower, and it will be a free kick for Wenatchee as they'll nearly boot it out of bounds on the far side. Sometimes you see that, Matt, and I wanted to ask you about that too, as Wenatchee again gets the ball in towards Haley Matthews' way. You'll see a situation where a whistle blows and the team that receives the free kick doesn't agree necessarily with the call and they just give the ball back. I've seen that a few times.
It's happened a few times. If it's egregious and they know that the referees got it wrong, I think
is that kind of a unspoken, like in baseball, you hit the guy, that type of thing?
Yeah, or they might call a handball on somebody in the middle of the field, and it was not right, and you'll just kind of play a lob back to their defender, and then play on. Or if they missed an out-of-bounds call, you might do the same.
Sure.
It's generally sportsmanship. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes it can be gamesmanship and just take advantage of it if it's a real tight game.
Sure, absolutely.
But it is one thing I appreciate about this game. And a player goes down. Sometimes you'll see the team in possession of the ball. They'll play the ball out of bounds, so the team doesn't have to play down a player.
Right. Padilla picks up the ball that was approaching the goal off of a foot of a Wenatchee Panther. Not necessarily a shot on goal, but it just ended up that direction. So she collects it, punts it out near midfield. The battle ensues out there between the Cadets and the Panthers. Ball stopped and reverted by Womack, but then stolen away. Matthews with it now. Far side, she'll go to Clark. Clark will feed across. Nice crossing pass. But Eisenhower steps in front. Speaking of, Panthers return the favor with Allie Clark there. Feed down the left side and then centering back across. It'll be taken away from Ellie Toth and then turned back towards midfield. Maggie Miller along the near sideline, and the ball will go out of bounds off of a Cadet, so it'll be out to Wenatchee. Keeping it in the zone here. Ball came out right back to Miller, and she got pushed off the ball. No call. Far side it goes as Pelayo picks it up. I think I've been identifying the wrong person on the far side of the field here for the Wenatchee Panthers. Again, very difficult to see the numbers. Hopefully you can see them better on TV. We should have provided our viewing audience a roster so they could do better than I here. Madison Smith is who is on the far side over there for Wenatchee. There we go. And this is Allie Clark. Near side. Got it. A little give and go here. Nice play on the near side by Clark along with Jaden Griggs. Clark down in the corner. Crossing pass it goes. Looking again for Haley Matthews. Ball punted away near midfield. Picked up back there by Emily Coldy. And you talked about the play
very quietly by Emily Coldy all season long. She's done well for Wenatchee back here on the defensive front.
Yeah, she's done very well. And this interplay we're seeing with her and Miller and Griggs is something Wenatchee's working on, and it kind of has to do with that little adjustment that I was talking about as well. And they're working on it tonight. And it's one thing going forward in playoff play, especially if they play Eastmont, that is probably going to be primary to their attack, their strategy. And especially when they get against some aggressive, speedy defenders. So pay attention to how the three of them play off each other, and that's key to going forward for scoring some goals with this team.
Olivia Bowman checks into the game for Wenatchee. So too does Ireland Knipfer. Throw in meanwhile for Eisenhower after the timeout for the substitution. Ball turned towards the end there by the cadets, Natalie Rodriguez. But a good job defensively for Wenatchee once again. It'll be a goal kick here for the Panthers and Kenya Ortega. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Global Car Care, a quality auto repair facility with highly trained technicians celebrating 25 years in the car care business. They speak your car's language at 1840 North Wenatchee Avenue. Okay, I'll go for that. Although I just talked to a mother who pronounced it with the K.
Right.
So
I work with her dad.
Oh, okay. All right. So Matt tells me it's Knipfer, not Knipfer. So I'll go with you, Matt, since you work with her dad. I mean, for goodness sake.
I don't want to have her mom and dad fight. They give you a different show.
Well, Sally called me today, and she was talking about the musical coming up for the Wenatchee School District, the district-wide musical. Was it How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying? I think that's the name of the musical this year. That'll be coming up in the month of November over a couple of weekends. Don't want to miss that. Boy, the kids put in a lot of work, and parents put in a lot of work with that too, by the way.
Well, I'll have to validate that, verify that one.
All right.
And maybe I've just been lazy in hearing.
I'll go with you for now, since you've been around these kids a lot longer than I. So here's a free kick for Abby Walmack for Eisenhower. Ball stopped momentarily by Maggie Miller. Far side it goes Olivia Bowman, who just checked in. Wenatchee doing some clock kill here as they lead at 3-0 in the 29th minute of this first half. Good footwork over there by Kate Springer. And, well, you talk about a spark plug, too. Kate Springer for the Wenatchee Panthers.
Yeah, she's been a rock star. It's his name's Springer and Coldy and Toth and they've been around for quite a while that have really meant a lot to this program.
Absolutely. So again, the postseason straight ahead for the Big Nine. The top 6 teams advancing to the postseason with the district play-in games happening this Saturday at the higher seeds. You've got the 3 seed hosting the number 6, as here's an approach by Pitharoulas. Pitharoulas on the near side, but then turned aside by the Panther defense over there. Nice job by Wenatchee's Ireland Knipfer, I'll say. And it will be a goal kick here for Wenatchee. Substitution, I believe we're going to get one for the Panthers. We will on the far side as Madison Smith comes out. And we'll find out who that is coming in for her. As that is, I think, number 3. That'd be Holly Stegman.
Looks like Sarah Valdivinos came in for Ike.
Okay, thank you. A couple of subs, one per side here for both clubs. But so number 3 will host number 6 on Saturday. And tentatively, the play-in games will be at 1 o'clock. And here's a kind of a dangerous ball for Wenatchee. Panthers finally get back there and decide they need to turn that one away. As again, Emmy Coldy back there does so. Eisenhower just 1 shot on goal so far in this first half. Panthers on top, 3-0. Near side it comes to Jaden Griggs. Griggs head up, looking for someone to pass to. Ball caroms off the leg of Alicia Montano. And will go out of bounds here near side, and a throw in for Wenatchee. Quickly comes into Griggs. Griggs watches the defense converge, and so, nice attempt on the thought there by Tanya Ocampo. Good hustling play here for Nipfer. And now feet ahead, and the goalkeeper comes out just as Haley Matthews was thinking, maybe hat trick time? Not quite.
Yeah, I think one goalkeeper has seen the other one a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And was ready for that ball.
Padilla aggressively comes out and saves the day here for Eisenhower, at least in that turn. Speaking of turn, there's a nice feed in front. The ball loose still, and right there on the doorstep with the attempt as she collides with the goalkeeper for the Wenatchee Panthers that time. It was Ellie Toth who collided and nearly got a chance at a free goal there with the goaltender going down.
Yeah, just a lot of confusion in front of the goal there, and somebody needs to step up and take charge and not mess around with that ball and either clear it or take possession and put it in the net. 8
shots on goal unofficially for Wenatchee here in this first half to 1 for Eisenhower. As we're now in the 33rd minute of this first half, they're going to celebrate the seniors coming up at halftime. 9 seniors on the roster here for the Wenatchee Panthers in 2018. So the reference to the postseason play-in games for the Big Nine. We've got 6 traveling to 3, and here's Jaden Griggs with a shot. Padilla goes down to a knee and is able to thwart that attempt here for the Panthers.
Yeah, why not? Just keep hammering that goal.
Sure.
Anywhere inside of 30. Just keep putting the ball on frame and following it up. We haven't seen the keeper, or we've seen the keeper with a little bit of bobble hands tonight. And
absolutely.
Definitely worth keeping that insecurity going.
You also have a play-in game this weekend on Saturday with number 4 hosting number 5. So the top 2 teams, top 2 seeds get a bye to next Tuesday, where they will host the winners of the play-in games from this weekend. So right now, Moses Lake most likely number 1 seed. Wenatchee most likely number 2 seed. Eastmont would be a 3 seed and would host the 6th seed, which right now looks to be, well, it will be Sunnyside heading into Saturday. And then you would have West Valley hosting Davis most likely Saturday as well as the postseason begins. Interesting match tonight in Leavenworth, where the 7-0 Kodiaks are hosting the 6-1 Cashmere Bulldogs to determine the regular season champ of the Caribou Trail League. They could share it because Cascade beat Cashmere earlier this season. Now they're playing for the second time. Kate Springer tried to feed ahead, looking ahead for Holly Stegman, but ball a little bit too far in front of her, so Eisenhower picks it up. And now trying to revert direction was Montano. Wenatchee there, however, as Coley comes up with the ball. Feed up the far sideline. Here we go with Wenatchee on another interesting approach as they got 2 bodies over, and the corner kick will go in! How about that from way outside for Wenatchee? Coming up with the goal this time for the Panthers, it was Holly Stegman. Wow.
Yeah, I was going to make the comment that Hallie, when she crossed that ball, I was wanting to see her take a touch at a 45-degree angle to help get her hips around, to get that ball out away from the goal a little bit more. And by not doing it, she kind of shanked it, and it curved back in to the backside. And the keeper overplayed that, came out too far, and then by the time it realized it was curving back in, it was too late.
Snuck in that back corner there for Hallie Stegman. So she collects a goal here on senior night, the freshman for Wenatchee. And how huge is that to get freshmen to step up and play varsity time? I mean, you talk about these seniors now that have been part of this program for so long, and you look at people like Hallie, and wow, I mean,
she's
playing
got
as a freshman
this year, and really come through, and I think will be one of the leaders going forward in this team.
10 shots on goal for Wenatchee unofficially here in this first half. They've connected on 4 of which as we approach the 37th minute of this first half. All Wenatchee on this one here on the NCWLIFE channel. Our broadcast brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consultation services online at onewayconstructionnw.com. Punt by Padilla out of the goal box. Comes out again right there. Seems like a lot of black jerseys. Goes out of bounds off of a dribble on the far side here off the Panthers. So Eisenhower will get the throw in.
Yeah, so next year's going to be a pretty young team. Only one junior on this team that I'm seeing right now, Madison Smith. And she's started the majority of the games as well. So actually Madison Smith's a senior, isn't she? No.
Madison's a junior.
Junior.
Yep.
I had her circled as a starter, but I was off on that one. So Madison and the rest, but we've got some talent coming up. Wenatchee does in Hallie and in Ireland, in Greta, and Nia Hughes is an outstanding goalkeeper. Yeah. So the one thing this valley definitely has is an abundance of good players.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well as coaches. There's some phenomenal coaches out there that these players have had had it pretty good when it comes to that. So going forward, it's pretty bright future.
Whistle here against the Panthers, so a free kick for Eisenhower back on their side of midfield as we're in the 38th minute of this one here on the NCWLIFE channel. If you are late just joining us, 4 goals so far by Wenatchee in 10 shots. Haley Matthews scored early on the first goal in the 2nd minute. And Haley, I'll remind you, normally in goal, playing goalkeeper. But John Springer, head coach for Wenatchee, getting all of his seniors out there in the starting lineup, including his 2 goalkeepers. So Kenya Ortega is in goal, and Haley Matthews getting a chance to start on the attack. And boy, has she been attacking so far in this one. Ellie Toth made it a 2-0 game in the 14th minute. Haley Matthews got her 2nd goal of the contest in the 18th minute. And then Hallie Stegman just scored moments ago in the 35th minute. That's where we are right now as we're in stoppage here, closing out the first half.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention Olivia Bowman's name. She's been a staple of the defense all year, and she's been
just a sophomore.
Phenomenal as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So the future certainly bright for the Panthers, and they're hoping for a bright future here over the next few weeks as the postseason begins. Jaden Griggs, who's got to be a key cog in that postseason for Wenatchee, and now a crossing pass and a header, and it's in! Beautiful play, and the hat trick is pulled off tonight by Haley Matthews on a header.
Was that Jaden with? No, that wasn't Jaden with the cross. Who was that with the cross? Was that Ellie Toth, I believe?
Yes.
I think they've worked together a little bit, maybe in practice on that one, maybe messing around. But nonetheless, good job finishing it. Great job putting that ball right on her forehead.
5-0 now, Wenatchee on top of the Ike Cadets. Great celebratory night here on senior night. Ball here near side. The Wenatchee Panthers dominating here tonight. The 2 teams played earlier this season down at Eisenhower, and Wenatchee won that night 6-0. And here's a chance for Eisenhower momentarily, but then Wenatchee's defense just stout once again as they turn it aside. And we'll have the whistle sound to end our first half of play here. All Wenatchee in this first half on senior night, as they also celebrate homecoming week here at Wenatchee High School. We're through one half, and Wenatchee is on top of Eisenhower 5-0. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back here at halftime. You're watching Big Nine Soccer tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. We're back after this.
Choose the pros, Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. It's brought to you in part by the Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Walnut Street in Wenatchee, thefireplaceguy.net. Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. And the Windmill Restaurant, providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Call 509-665-9529.
Welcome back once again here to Wenatchee's Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Along with Matt Wisen, I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCWLIFE channel. And they're just about ready to celebrate the seniors here tonight on the senior night. Final regular season home game for the seniors. There are 9 of which we'll run them through for you. Kate Springer, Jaden Griggs, Emmy Coldy, Tanya Ocampo, Ellie Toth, Isabel Palayo, Maggie Miller, Kenya Ortega, and Haley Matthews. And what a senior night for Haley Matthews here. Yeah. 3 goals in the first half for someone who rarely ever gets a chance to sniff anything offensively because she's the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's she's going to remember this night. That's great.
So will mom and dad, too, as the parents are here with the kids as well here on senior night.
Get to run through a tunnel.
Yeah, I like that. Well, you do that with the youth kids. You know, you form a little human tunnel there. So why not have a throwback kind of a night? I think as a parent, though, trying to go through that with my kid, I might throw my back out. So I'd have to have him, hey, raise the tunnel, please. Tunnel height, need a little more. So a great opportunity to celebrate the seniors here tonight.
And they're putting 4 and 5 of them through these tunnels, too, at a time. So.
They are. Oh, I think they is that the JV squad that's over there providing the tunnel? So very nice send-off for these seniors. And it's hard not to be emotional a night like this. I remember John, he certainly wears his emotions on his sleeves at times. And I remember last year when they were knocked out of the playoffs, so that really tough game here at home, and what was that, the quarterfinals? I think of the state tournament last year when they were knocked out here at home, and then suddenly for those seniors, it's done. That's it. You're done. You will never play a soccer game for your high school again. And so at least they know there's something beyond tonight, but still for those seniors, that is such a hard road because it can just be over like that.
Yeah. This as part of a team, you know, they don't, and they're in high school, they don't realize that this is a sport that they'll probably play for a majority of the rest of their life. Not going to play on the same team again, though. So it is very sad. And as a coach, it's really hard to watch players that you've been around for so long leave your program. You're super proud of them, but at the same time, it's bittersweet. And yeah, usually not a dry eye around.
Each of the seniors given a little gift bag as well as a bouquet of flowers for a lot of them. And a huge thanks has to go to the parents, too. We mentioned that as the game was getting going, Matt, but the parents do so much to get these kids packed up.
Yeah.
Driven to wherever they need to go for so many years of club ball and I mean, just everything.
Club ball is a tremendous amount of travel. Sometimes the higher up you get, the more travel, the more work you need with the parents and the whole team. For example, he's now a freshman, as an 8th grader, last year club ball alone, and not including their California tournament, they put on 5,200 miles of car travel.
Yeah. Well, and not just the time and not just driving and things like that, but the expense, too.
The expense.
There's a lot of expense.
And that's where that phrase that's really making its rounds, pay to play, comes in. And that's where American soccer really takes some heat. It's not only can it be pricey out of the pocket, Wenatchee's very affordable when it comes to that. The time and the travel can really add up. And clubs really need to do lots of work to offset that cost, or a lot of players fall through the cracks. They just can't afford it.
And there's kind of been that, I don't know, a negative connotation with a soccer mom, but you can't have it without those soccer moms that can pick up 3, 4, 5 other kids and put them in the van and let's go.
Yeah, we have a minivan, and it is the majority of its lifespan has been hauling kids around, and it is just limping now. It's a couple 100,000 miles on it, and one door almost is ready to fall off. It does not. It's been beat up, but it's a sacrifice, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I know the soccer moms wouldn't either. So and dads, it's just it's a big family that really puts it all out there for their kids' experience.
A wonderful tribute to the seniors as the rest of their teammates gather around for more photo opportunities here from parents, coaches, and everybody else. And again, we'll run down the seniors for you. Kate Springer, Jaden Griggs, Emmy Coley, Tanya Ocampo, Ellie Toth, Isabel Palayo, Maggie Miller, Kenya Ortega, and Haley Matthews, the 9 seniors that the stalwart of this Wenatchee Panther team that's on the verge of getting to the postseason yet again for John Springer. Our broadcast brought to you in part by the Windmill Restaurant in Wenatchee, priding itself on being a local legend for 80 years. The Windmill features slow-roasted prime rib, the highest quality hand-cut steaks, and fresh seafood. Homemade dressings and pies are made daily and are the mainstay of this legendary landmark restaurant. The Windmill has a full bar and excellent selection of beer and wine from which to choose. Call the Windmill today, 665-9529. It is 5-0 all Wenatchee here on senior night. We'll take a break and come back with a recap of that first half as we come back here at Liebofto Field of the Apple Bowl. Wenatchee over Eisenhower 5-0. We're back after this on the NCWLIFE channel.
Meinen Zylinder überschwimmt. Flute, ich habe mein Fugen verloren.
Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Franzlusen. Hey, you.
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frapita mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frappitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. OneWayConstructionNW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service, located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home.
Welcome back once again to Liebofto Field at the Apple Bowl, along with Matt Wise, and I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCWLIFE channel. As Wenatchee leads at 5-0 over Eisenhower here on the last game of the regular season for the Panthers. Our broadcast brought to you in part by One Way Construction. Founded in 2000, One Way is a premier custom home builder and construction company in Leavenworth, Cashmere, Chelan, Wenatchee, and all of North Central Washington. Whether your project requires general contracting, framing, concrete, or consultation services, they want to be part of making your vision a reality. They believe that great communication and customer service plays the most important role of a successful construction project. Find them on the web at onewayconstructionnw.com. Well, let's rehash what happened in that first half, and it started early in this one for the Wenatchee Panthers, coming in knowing that they needed to get a win tonight and get 3 goals, and that would pretty much lock down the number 2 spot in the Big Nine. Pending what happens with Moses Lake here over the next tonight and Thursday night as far as the standings are concerned. But Haley Matthews would help get things going early for Wenatchee just in the second minute. Now, again, Haley, normally a goalkeeper, playing on the offensive set, and they get the ball to her, and she makes it count in the second minute of this one to give Wenatchee a 1-0 lead. In the 14th minute, so just 12 minutes later, as the ball pretty much stayed on Eisenhower's side of the field here in that first half, Ellie Toth was able to connect and make it a 2-0 contest in the 14th minute. And it was pretty obvious that Wenatchee was trying to give Haley Matthews another chance, and boy, did she take advantage of that opportunity. In the 18th minute, Haley would connect again to make it a 3-0 contest. The Wenatchee Panthers on top. Wenatchee outshot Eisenhower 10-1 in that first half, as they would get another goal in the 35th minute as they were closing in on halftime. Beautiful shot from in the right corner by Hallie Stegman. Somehow was able to get over the top of the goalkeeper and into the back corner of the net. That made it 4-0. Wenatchee on top at that point. But they weren't done yet, as they got a nice crossing path, I think, from Ellie Toth that found a header by Haley Matthews right on the doorstep in the 39th minute, right before halftime. And that made it 5-0, and that's where we sit right now. And again, Matt Wise and Haley Matthews with a hat trick in that first half.
That's awesome watching that happen. You don't see goalkeepers get an opportunity to score very often, and she is acting like she's been doing it all year long. Those aren't easy goals that she's been putting away.
No, definitely not. And what's your tendency here for the second half? Because if you're John Springer, I'm sure he was going to rotate the girls at goal, but Haley's had such a great first half. Do you go to Kenya Ortega and say, hey, you want to stay in goal and just have Haley play the rest of the second half, or what do you want to do?
I'd have that conversation with both players. I would just lay it out for them and say, hey, this might be your last game at home.
Right.
Well, they got one more game at home, but this might be your last regular season game.
Right.
Cool. Would you rather spend your time in goal, or would you rather spend your time out on the pitch? And, they're both playing fantastic. But Kenya's not seeing the ball that much. Maybe she wants to come out on the pitch and get a chance to get 3 goals.
Well, I think I see Kenya heading towards the locker room to put her regular jersey on, and I see coming out festooned in the pink top Haley Matthews. So I think we have our answer to that question, and we will get you ready for second half play coming up after this 2-minute timeout. Again, at halftime, it is Wenatchee leading at 5-0 over Eisenhower. You're watching Big Nine Soccer on the NCWLIFE channel.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. It's brought to you in part by the Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Walnut Street in Wenatchee, thefireplaceguy.net. Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. And the Windmill Restaurant, providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Call 509-665-9529.
Back just in time to start the second half as Eisenhower gets the kickoff, and Haley Matthews is in goal now for Wenatchee after a brilliant first half where she scored 3 of Wenatchee's 5 goals here on the NCWLIFE channel. Our second half kickoff brought to you by Swoboda Photography, creating a custom boutique experience on location. We're in their studio in Leavenworth. Call them up at 509-888-6654. Along with Matt Wise and Eric Granstrom with you. If you are waiting, maybe you were watching us and recording the baseball game, you might want to turn away for a moment. Plug your ears and go la 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 la, because I'm going to give you a score right now. It is the top of the 7th inning, Game 1 of the World Series, and the Red Sox lead the Dodgers 5-3 in the top of the 7th inning at Fenway Park in Game 1 of the Fall Classic. Ooh, little collision there coming from behind and bumping in. Lizette Bueno bumped into one of the Wenatchee Panthers. I think it was Jaden Griggs that got hit from behind there. Looks like everybody's okay. The whistle sounds, though, and gives Wenatchee a free kick. And it will come to the Ike side of midfield. Kate Springer chasing it down over there along the sideline. Turned and rooted the ball forward, but it goes past her teammate. And now off of that same teammate, it'll go out of bounds on the kick by Kennedy Leach. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel. Now, aside from this one tonight, the one that we're all kind of keeping an eye on, actually, it took place already today, Matt, so it's in the books. Maybe it's even up on the website by now, but Davis hosted Moses Lake. Of course, the Chiefs and Panthers trying to finish atop the standings. So we'll have Matt check the site here, see if they posted it. Davis sometimes is kind of lagging, though, in their reporting at times.
Well, Davis scored 3 goals on Moses Lake today.
They did.
They did.
But Moses Lake scored.
Unfortunately for Wenatchee, Moses Lake scored 5.
5. So, okay, 5-3. The final in that one. So Moses Lake collects 6 points with a win.
Yeah, that locks him in as first place.
That locks him in as first place. So Wenatchee looks like, all things being equal here, considering it's 5-0, will finish this one and finish second, no matter what happens with Eastmont and Moses Lake on Thursday.
Yeah, 1 point ahead of Eastmont.
Yep.
Dang close in the top 3.
How about that? And it's fun to have it come right down to the final week to determine the seeding and everything else. So there you have it, 5-3, Moses Lake over Davis tonight. So the Chiefs will be the regular season Big Nine champions. Wrestling that away from Wenatchee, won it last year, correct? Yeah. Yes. Panthers, in fact, was it two years in a row that they won the Big Nine championship? I want to say.
It might have been. I can't quite recall, though, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was.
Jaden's sophomore year, I believe they won the regular season title as well. So very successful programming continues here for John Springer and the Wenatchee Panthers. They will not capture the crown this year, the regular season crown, but you know, you're more concerned about playing well in the postseason. But I'll talk, Matt, playing well. I mean, we talked with John a little bit about this. I talked with Jim Beeson about it, too, the athletic director here at Wenatchee High School. You talk about a team playing well right now. That is Moses Lake.
Yeah, they've got it's high school ball, and when you get a couple players like they have that are as dominant as they are, it really can lock things down and make it really difficult for the other teams. Scone is probably the best player in the league.
Crossing feed, and it's in on the shot for Wenatchee. Beautiful cross here from the near side. And I believe it was that Toth that came up with the goal for the Wenatchee Panthers to put Wenatchee on top 6-0.
Yeah, that looked like a right-footed shot that time. So she's got a lefty and a righty tonight. Or maybe I was off.
That was
replay came in too quick.
And
that's tough.
Yeah, that is Ellie Toth.
So, Wenatchee does have a plan of attack for Moses Lake. They have the personnel to compete in districts and get through and make a run. The two games they just dropped recently, not really a reflection of how they're playing, more a reflection of just their energy level basically over the last week. And then, we're coming into homecoming week this week.
Right.
So you can contain one player, two players on Moses Lake, and it's a different game. And they have a strategy for working with them.
Well, you were over getting the lineups for Eisenhower when we talked to John Springer in the pregame show, and John, in referencing that loss here at home 3-0 to Moses Lake, he said, it's the first time that I remember since I've been coaching here that we just had a clunker. We just had a bad game. I mean, we had no energy, no life, no nothing, and Moses Lake took advantage and got the win. And then the next week, he traveled, or later that week, they traveled to West Valley. You never know how that's going to bounce when you're on the road like that. Mm-hmm. And they played spirited. He was very happy with their comeback as they went into overtime and lost in overtime 2-1.
Yeah, and that's West Valley too.
Yeah.
That's just that atmosphere. It's a different one. Like I say, you're in high school, and these games are kind of weird. You're on the bus for a while. You got all kinds of stuff going on. Homework. You're trying to do all that stuff on the road. The home team has quite an advantage in that situation.
Substitution coming in here for Eisenhower will be Emma Estrada. She will replace Lizette Bueno. Kind of a quiet crowd on hand here tonight as Wenatchee's been in control since the second minute of this one. 3 goals tonight for Haley Matthews, now 2 goals for Ellie Toth, and add a 6th on the evening. With Hallie Stegman that came up with a goal.
It's starting to get a little chilly out too.
It is.
The crowd is really kind of
sitting on their hands just to keep them warm right now. That time of year, although I got to say that this October has just been splendid weather-wise.
It has been just a dream. I can't recall such a nice October.
Man, it is just gorgeous. The 60-degree temperatures we've had here are, I think, going to be the last time we'll see 60s until maybe next March, April.
Maybe that one funky day in February.
Oh, yeah. We usually get one of those, don't we? Our broadcast tonight brought to you in part by Charter College. Charter Type's Find Solutions. Are you at Charter Type? They work to get you to work. Call 509-415-3576. Also by Walkabout Grill, where eating out is eating healthy, in downtown Wenatchee and downtown Leavenworth.
Yeah, October days like this, though, or this last October, there are reasons for living in Wenatchee.
I'm telling you what. And then the leaf changes and the colors and the spectacular blue sky. And just the light change. The sunrises and sunsets are just spectacular.
Yeah, there aren't many other places in the world that have just the brilliance that Wenatchee does with all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Some places are absolutely wonderful, but they've got the same weather year-round.
Right. Here's Jaden Griggs with a shot and a beautiful diving play as they changed goalkeepers. Did Eisenhower at the break. And in the goal right now, I believe, is Natalie Rodriguez. They were trying to determine if she was going to start, but I think Natalie is in there now at goal. And that was a great stop on a beautiful left-footed shot by Jaden Griggs.
Yeah, that was a great job picking that ball up and parrying it out of danger. And coming in cold like that, it's not an easy task.
12 shots on goal tonight, unofficially for Wenatchee, as they get it again in Eisenhower's territory, as we're in the 49th minute of this one. Dan, of course, made his joke at halftime saying there would be a running clock in the second half, referencing American football rules. Wenatchee with the thought of entry pass. Amanda Schneider came up with it there for a moment as she's here in the second half for Wenatchee. Ball collected back there by Ellie Clark towards midfield.
So here's my dig on American football.
Okay.
When the Seahawks played in London recently.
Yes.
The British, they do they are very intrigued by American football.
Mm-hmm.
And they do like going to those games, but they're having a hard time adjusting to all the timeouts and all the stoppage and play.
Right.
And at one point in that game, they panned through the crowd, and there were 2 people sleeping during a Seahawks game in the crowd. And I'm just
they couldn't have been Seahawk fans.
I think they were.
Oh, wow.
But
yeah, that is tough.
It's very difficult. It's a long game if you're accustomed to watching football or soccer that doesn't have these stoppages. And if you do the math, a quarterback might play 11 minutes in a full 60?
Yeah.
It's when you're used to watching the ball never stop.
And your hero in the game the entire duration of the game, playing offense and defense, basically. Yeah.
So it's a little bit of an adjustment. They love the culture. They love the hitting and the action and other things that go along with American football. It's just taking a little while for them to
see.
The
the argument will be, Matt, that they need those commercial breaks to catch your breath. And to pay all those high salaries.
Yeah. And part of the problem also is that they're not as well lubricated.
Yeah. Although I talked to some people that were there that had traveled to London from Washington that were there for the game, and they said that I don't know if this was for every ticket, but they said that their ticket that they bought to the game included pregame beverages, halftime beverages, and postgame beverages.
All right. Okay. So
I'm like, sign me up for that.
From what I understand, they're not selling alcohol at those games at an English Premier League game.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it was an assumption on my behalf that they wouldn't sell them during an NFL game. However, those fans that go to the English Premier League games,
they pre-fund, don't they?
Definitely spend some time doing that.
I don't know if it's a tailgate necessarily, as we know it, but
they kind of leave the pub and walk straight to the.
I see. Okay,
stadium.
So it's a pre-pub. I gotcha. Wenatchee with the ball on the doorstep again, and winding up for the shot there for the Panthers, and now it's right in front again, and a turn and a shot and a goal. It's in.
This is a sneaky little goal right there. That was good job not giving up on that ball. If you're Eisenhower, you really need to make sure you clear that ball more than 5 yards away from your goal.
Goal for Wenatchee will be by Riley Gross-Didier.
Yeah, good job for Riley. She just came up from the JV team, got a call up, and I'm sure her parents are excited to watch her score a goal. She's a very good player on Wenatchee FC's one of our teams, and as well as a world-class skier.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
So Riley with a tally here for Wenatchee makes it a 7-0 contest as her goal came in the 52nd minute. We're now in the 53rd minute of this one here on the NCWLIFE channel. And a nice job by the Panthers again to just keep the pressure on that defense back there. I mean, if they're not going to clear it, then just keep pounding away, like you said.
Yeah, Eisenhower hasn't shown much ability to, especially to work the ball out of the back, but to really threaten the back half of our defense too much. So we can afford sending more players forward and really clamping down the pressure.
Our broadcast tonight brought to you in part by The Windmill, a time-tested restaurant providing traditional steakhouse meals and a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Open 7 days a week, 4:30 to 9. Call 509-665-9529. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel tonight. Also on our web stream, we might have a few folks watching tonight from down in the Yakima area from Eisenhower. So welcome and thanks for watching here on the NCWLIFE channel on our website at ncwlife.com. So we bring you, well, let's see, this is about our 19th, 20th broadcast of fall sports, high school sports here on the NCWLIFE channel. Nice pass ahead, but a nice job by their goalkeeper to come out and get after it that time. She's wearing number 1. They said that was Padilla in the first half. They may have switched it on us. That may have been Rodriguez in the first half, and Padilla now in there in goal. But she's made a couple of nice stops here. Now Wenatchee countering on the defense and getting it out of bounds, and a nice job of clearing down there by the Panthers. And I think Was that Riley down there? I'm trying to figure out who that is with the numbers.
I believe
and
that
again,
was,
my apologies, folks. These numbers are difficult to see.
I believe that was that Bowman?
Yes, it was Bowman. Thank you.
She's got the pace back there.
Yep.
And
Olivia Bowman doing a nice job of getting back and clearing that ball away.
We've talked a lot about Wenatchee's youth coming up, but this is a relatively young Eisenhower team as well. They've got 7 freshmen and 3 sophomores out here tonight that
getting valuable playing time.
Definitely getting valuable playing time, and only 4 seniors on the squad. So, you can say it's a rebuilding year for Eisenhower as well. Right. I don't expect them to be down very long. They're Eisenhower. They usually do field some good teams out of the Yakima area.
Hallie Stegman with a free kick for Wenatchee after a handball out near midfield. Stegman will keep it in here for the Panthers. Hallie with a goal here tonight for Wenatchee. 7-0 they lead it as we're well into the second half now. And Wenatchee, final game of the regular season, trying to lock down. It looks like they will lock down the number 2 seed in the Big Nine after Moses Lake wrapped up their regular season championship. Now a scramble here, and Padilla comes out, and right there, trying to get a big piece of it was Ellie Toth.
That was a great ball in, a good run. Just picked that run up just a little late, but other than that...
excuse me, that wasn't Toth. That was Amanda Schneider on that attack for Wenatchee. Amanda being aggressive down there. Number 17 on her back, now that I can see it clearly.
Yeah, Amanda's been, I've pretty much gone through the whole roster here saying how important that player has been to the team.
Well, you got to have him.
She's had some really good goals for the team as well this year. And has a nose for getting forward.
Padilla comes out of goal again and collects that ball and punts it out near midfield. Stopped there by Jarecki. We didn't know if we'd see her. Coach John Springer saying she's coming back from an ankle injury. But getting out there, feeling well enough to play tonight for the Wenatchee Panthers. This ball's going to carry him out of bounds off of a cadet and will be a throw-in for Wenatchee. Substitution here for Eisenhower. Out of the contest comes Pitharoulis, and in back is Lizette Bueno for Eisenhower. Again, if you're just joining us, Moses Lake knocking off Davis tonight 5-3, so they get 6 points, and so they will be the number 1 seed heading into the district tournament. Heading next Tuesday, Wenatchee will be the number 2 seed, as they will pick up 6 points tonight as well, and they will host Tuesday. So Eastmont will be the number 3 seed, no matter what happens with Eastmont and Moses Lake coming up on Thursday. And here's another attack for Wenatchee, as again, it is Gross Didier down there.
Yeah, good speed getting to that ball in the corner.
My goodness. And here's a left-footed shot from outside about 27 yards away for the Panthers. As that was by Sanchez Blanco. The Panthers' unofficial 14th shot on goal here in the game sails across the crossbar. And will be a goal kick here for Eisenhower. Right foot put to it, and then stopped right there for Wenatchee by Hallie Stegman. Panthers getting some youth in this lineup here in the second half. Good to see.
Eisenhower's playing very narrow. They're not getting much width, and allowing Wenatchee to just be really compact defensively and shutting anything down. So they're not really having to expend a whole lot of energy keeping that or getting that ball back.
Nice job by the Panthers triangulating things here with the ball, and then a chip ahead, and Padilla will come out of the goal and will collect this one here for Eisenhower. Our broadcast also brought to you by the Alignment Pros and Express Lube. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube, including front and four-wheel alignment online at alignpros.com or at 182 Eastmont Avenue. Also by Automoca. What's your Automoca emergency? Visit one of their 6 locations in the valley, including the only Automoca with inside seating on 5th Street across from the college. Feed here near side for the Panthers, scrambling after it, Emmy Coldy. Sanchez Blanco also giving chase down the near side. Goes out of bounds. A throw in for Wenatchee. Throw in comes in. Stopped there in its tracks by Amanda Schneider. They'll play a 3-person game and a route across to the weak side. And a head over there. And now the approach. And now an attempt. And it's just off the mark. Nice job for Wenatchee as the Panthers got the ball over on the weak side. And with the attempt, Tanya Ocampo over there. And just got her leg tied up with a cadet just as she was ready to root that one towards the goal. 15 shots unofficially on goal now for Wenatchee to just 1 for Eisenhower, and that came in the first half. I see what you mean, Matt. Yeah, there's, 5 bodies all within about 15-yard circle for Eisenhower, all in one spot. Defending was Olivia Bowman again for Wenatchee. Gave a big kick to it and then stumbled down, and they're going to say that was because of a bump by Eisenhower. So the whistle comes, and it will be a free kick for Wenatchee. Bowman turning towards the sideline and getting the giggles. Bowman with the right foot. Goodness. Howitzer.
Strong foot, yeah.
Goes out of bounds on the far side. Will be a throw in here for Eisenhower. So after tonight, well, as of right now, the playoffs, very clear picture at this point, and it was awfully murky before we began the contest. And it would seem Sunnyside would be the number 6 seed coming into the play-in games this Saturday. So Eastmont would host Sunnyside at Wildcat Stadium Saturday. We just don't know a game time yet. We're thinking around 1 o'clock. Turning and trying to get something going offensively is Emma Estrada. Cheered on by the JV squad in front of us in the stands here at Lee-Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Wenatchee in charge throughout in this one. They scored in the second minute and have been adding on since. It's a 7-0 contest with the Panthers on top. Throw in for Ike, and now they are going to kick it towards the goal area. I'll be kind and say that's a shot on goal. Their second of the contest, but easily picked up there by Haley Matthews as it goes nearly the length of the field. Turned finally by Eisenhower. But again, nice footwork there for Wenatchee by Emmy Coldy. They put Emmy on the attack here and trying to get it to her again from the pass of Jarecki. Sanchez Blanco will boot the ball in, and we get a whistle. We're going to get a bump called from behind on Wenatchee, so a free kick for Eisenhower. We mentioned Kenya Ortega playing in goal in the first half. She's out there as an offensive threat here in the second half, wearing number 18 for Wenatchee.
Yeah, it'd be great to see both keepers get goals in a game in the same game. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
You've just joined us, Haley Matthews, normally the goalkeeper for Wenatchee, scored 3 in the first half. Well, here you go.
Come on, lace it back here.
As it is Gross Didier trying to feed inside. Good job defending that time by Eisenhower. And I think they had that in the mind there, Matt.
Yeah, I think they want to get her a goal. Kenya deserves one, too. She's been around for a long time and worked really hard and hasn't had many goals on her own.
One of the 9 seniors out here for Wenatchee on the senior nights in the Apple Bowl. Wenatchee will bring it back out, reset the offense here as they'll collect themselves. Ball collected over there by Eisenhower, but 3 black jerseys all over. It will go out of bounds off of a Panther and will be out to Eisenhower in the 65th minute of this one. So all pretty much in the can here except for the final score. Gross Didier comes up with it again. A little give and go along the far sideline, but a little bit out of the reach of her teammates, and it will go out of bounds on the touchline on the far side. So a throw in for Eisenhower. Cadets, unfortunately, on the outside looking in. They will have to try again next season in the fall to get a postseason berth, as there's 7 teams in the Big Nine, but only 6 make the postseason. Pass ahead for Gross Didier. She falls awkwardly. I hope she's okay over there. She stumbled down as the ball got underneath of her on the pass forward to her by Ortega. And they're going to take a moment here to make sure she's okay, to shake that off. Our broadcast brought to you by Color Effects, offering screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, and logo design for your team, school, business, or church at a fair price. Locally owned for over 20 years, called Color Effects. It's 509-741-7609. That's 509-741-7609. Looked like she may have turned an ankle.
Yeah, she had to lunge for that ball kind of weird and got stretched out and kind of twisted something. I don't know if it's a knee or an ankle. Hard to see from here.
Medical staff attending to her. They've got a fantastic training facility, or trainers here, of course, with Dale Blair and Larry Howe, that take good care of all the athletes throughout the Wenatchee program. And then, of course, their program they have within the school that is constantly finishing atop the many. Looked like her right foot, right ankle, as that ball came to her.
She had stepped on and kind of stretched out.
She's up on her feet, though. That's the good news, and making her way to the far sideline.
A little ginger, but doesn't look like she's got anything.
She's not favoring one leg or the other. So Riley Gross Didier will have to come out of the contest now for the Wenatchee Panthers. Gets a hand from John Springer as she heads to the far sideline. I apologize, you didn't see who John sent in her stead here for the Panthers. As the stoppage, with the clock still winding, the officials keep track of it. But when you have a game like this, do you still play that extra time?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, you kind of let a little of that slide, don't you?
It's the discretion of the referee,
Sure.
but usually if you're up 7-0, there's not going to be much added time.
So it'll be a free kick here for Eisenhower, I believe, as we're in the 68th minute and maybe some added time here, injury time, when we get to the end of this one. Boy, we got a Donnybrook going on in game 1 of the World Series. Chip ahead here, and nice idea looking here near side for Sanchez Blanco. Panthers retreating defensively, and they're going to bring it back to Haley. Haley's just going to put a foot to it, coming out near midfield. In the bottom of the 7th inning, it is a 5-4 contest now for the Red Sox. However, the Red Sox do have 2 runners aboard with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. So a long way from over at Fenway Park tonight in game 1 of the World Series. This one has been pretty much determined since early on, as Wenatchee scored in the 2nd minute. Haley Matthews on her first of 3 goals in the first half. 14th minute, Ellie Toth with a goal for the Panthers, followed by the second goal from Haley Matthews in the 18th minute that made it 3-0. Hallie Stegman added a goal in the 35th minute to make it 4-0, and then Haley one more on a header right before halftime to make it 5-0. Wenatchee came out, scored within the first 5 minutes of the second half. Ellie Toth with her second goal of the night to make it 6-0, and then just a little bit ago in the 52nd minute, Riley Gross Didier with a goal to make it 7-0, and that's where we are right now. As Wenatchee is locking down second seed in the Big Nine, heading into the postseason next week. A reminder, we've got volleyball on a replay Thursday nights here on the NCWLIFE channel. If you missed last week's Eastmont Wenatchee marathon, what we figure, 2 hours and 10 minutes, something like that for that volleyball match. Be sure and watch Thursday night, 7 o'clock here on the NCWLIFE channel. We'll replay that for you. And that gets you ready for homecoming Friday night for the Wenatchee Panthers as they take on the Walla Walla Blue Devils And you talk about season coming down the stretch. You've got Eastmont, undefeated in Big 9 play right now. They'll be at Moses Lake on Friday. Wenatchee, the only Big 9 game they have left is Eastmont a week from Friday here on this very surface in the Bridge of Sportsmanship game that could very well determine the Big 9 champion or maybe even set up a three-way tie. It could happen. And if that's the case, then they do a Kansas tie-break scenario at a neutral site, which we believe would be Moses Lake High School, after the regular season is over. So
now Wenatchee plays Moses Walla Walla this Friday.
Walla Walla this Friday, which is a
game.
non-league game for them. So it won't count against them in the Big 9 standings. And then host Eastmont a week from Friday. Of course, we'll have that here on the NCW Life channel with a special tailgate pregame show starting at 6 a week from Friday here on the NCW Life channel. I don't even know if I told you this, Dan. Dan Kuntz joining us here in the booth as well here at the Apple Bowl. But I have secured a helmet from Eastmont and a helmet from Wenatchee that will be sitting on your desk for the week during Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
He has to wear them. I think he should wear them.
Well, he's a Panther grad, so I think I know which helmet he would probably prefer to wear.
Do they have one big enough for his head?
No. There'd be a lot of lubrication to happen to get his head in there. Doesn't matter how big the helmet is. 72nd minute of this one here, and Wenatchee going to get their 12th win of the season, their 9th win in Big 9 play. Substitution here for Eisenhower. Back into the contest comes Emma Estrada, replacing Lizette Bueno. Throw in Safar side for Wenatchee, and we get a little push from behind a whistle against Eisenhower.
That's a good spot for, I think, Kenny to
I'm surprised they didn't have Kenya Ortega go back and
just
do
act like
the
it's
free
a goal
kick.
kick.
Yeah, absolutely. Free kick for Wenatchee, and the kick is on the way, and it's in from way downtown. How about that? And the goal for Wenatchee, the 8th of the night, will be collected by Hallie Stegman, her second.
Yeah, she's got a leg, and we've seen her launch a few from distance already this season. Not surprised to see her put that one in.
Happened in the 73rd minute of this contest, making it 8-0, Wenatchee on top. And a substitution here, as we'll have a new goalkeeper head back. And is that Bowman that's going to head back to goal? She just put the green vest on.
I believe so.
Yeah, it is Olivia Bowman. That's going to head back in goal here to replace Haley Matthews.
Yeah, who's coming on in?
So John needs to bring somebody else in, and he's got, well, they're going to start play here. Kate Springer is out over there helping to coach on the sideline.
Well, they got 11 in.
So we'll have to find out who came in. He's probably got another fresh body out there for Wenatchee. Panthers in charge of this one since early on. Coldy with it at midfield. Far side it goes. Oh, she brought Jaden Griggs back in. That's what happened. Griggs, I think, was on the sideline for this whole second half to this point. Now another shot on goal here, taken for Wenatchee by Madison Smith. Panthers now with unofficially 18 shots on goal and 8 converted here tonight. Well, you look at Wenatchee and their 6-game winning streak prior to losing 2. I have the numbers here somewhere. Wenatchee had outscored opponents like 31-3 in that 6-game stretch with a 5-goal average per contest. And then in the 2 losses in a row, only collected 1 goal while giving up 5. So you kind of figured that the offense would come through, especially in a game like this here tonight. And Ortega now with it for Wenatchee. Chips it ahead to Griggs. Griggs will approach, and she will score. No doubt about that one for the Wenatchee Panthers. And that one comes in the 75th minute for Wenatchee. Jaden Griggs adds to her goal total in her incredible career as a Wenatchee Panther. And for Eisenhower, cadets just trying to play for pride here, trying to find a way to get a goal. It has been a tough go for Eisenhower on the road here tonight, and a tough go this season. But you give them credit, they've been out there battling all night long for Noe Gutierrez, head coach for Eisenhower. Battle out near midfield right now as we're in the 76th minute in a 9-0 lead for Wenatchee. Ball comes near side, will be rooted up into the stands by Eisenhower, so it'll be a throw-in for Wenatchee as Maggie Miller will do the honors here near side. Our broadcast also brought to you by Global Car Care, a quality auto repair facility with highly trained technicians celebrating 25 years in the car care business. They speak your car's language at 1840 North Wenatchee Avenue. And One Way Construction, a premier custom home builder and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consultation services online at onewayconstructionnw.com. So a big week for Wenatchee High School, homecoming week. Coach Springer talking about homecoming dance this weekend. Ladies here for Wenatchee soccer having to think about wrapping up on senior night, picking out their dress, making sure they're good to go.
Corsages. Souvenirs.
Yeah.
Where are you going to eat for dinner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're in the middle of that right now.
So where is the hot spot? Since I'm not from Wenatchee, I'm not originally from here. I've been here since 1990, so I feel like I've been here forever. Here's a corner kick. It's our first of the game, believe it or not. Comes out in front and will be turned aside momentarily. But then Haley Matthews, who checked back into the game here on the offense, will turn that ball towards the end. But I mentioned Windmill's got to be one of those places where the kids go.
You know, it's kind of all over the place. For a while there, big groups were going to one person's home, or they would do a progressive dinner at various homes.
Sure.
And now it's kind of all over the place. Some of that going on. Obviously, the Windmill and McGlynn, Shakti's. That's my go-to place, either Windmill or Shakti's with my wife.
Sure.
Yeah, fortunately, we're my last high school child. He's going to Casa de Wiesen. We'll be teaching him the finer points of cooking.
So he's going to cook.
He's going to. He's got a game though. It's like 3:00 on Saturday, so he's got some
prep work
to do. Yes.
How about that? Griggs will chip it ahead down in the corner here for Wenatchee. And the chase is on, and the center is there. Where's Ortega? She was there. She was close.
Just get her in front of the goal.
Nice job by the goalkeeper, Alyssa Padilla, coming up with a stop here for Eisenhower. And there's Jaden Griggs again, but Padilla scoops that one up. And yet another shot on goal for Wenatchee. That's 21 shots on goal in the game as we're in the final moments of this final game of the regular season for the Wenatchee Panthers. And we've got stoppage with an injury as one of the cadets goes down on the play. Our broadcast, speaking of the Windmill, brought to you by the Windmill, a time-tested restaurant providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homely, old-fashioned dining room open 7 days a week, 4:30 to 9. Call 509-665-9529. By Charter College, Charter Types find solutions. Are you a charter type? They work to get you to work. Call 509-415-3576. And the Walkabout Grill, where eating out is eating healthy in downtown Wenatchee and downtown Leavenworth. So we hate to see an injury just in the closing seconds of this one.
Yeah, I didn't set my clock there on that on the 78th minute to see how much time would be left, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Eisenhower just play the ball back to Wenatchee and the referee point to the center circle and go find a warmer place to hang out.
Sarah Valdivinos pulled up from the junior varsity squad, the one that was injured. She'll head to the far side over there, be tended to by the Wenatchee training staff. Official making sure, and there's the kick. Wenatchee doesn't even chase after it here. And then finally they do. I think they were thinking the same thought you did, that would be the end of it. And a 9-0 contest here, but no, they play on. Kate Springer off the bench for Wenatchee, off to Kenya Ortega. Nice footwork for Ortega there. They'll come midfield to Jaden Griggs. And a feed ahead, near side, and the run up. And a nice job of defending there. Losing the ball was Maggie Miller for Wenatchee. Nice job by Brianna Rivera for Eisenhower. Here's a center. Here's Ortega right there. Oh, couldn't quite get it to her. Couldn't free her up enough. About 13 yards out. Eisenhower will just boot this one down Wenatchee's way as Bowman collects it. And again, we got to be near the whistle. Our center referee has not. He just looked at his wrist. Ball again will come Wenatchee's way, and Bowman will scoop it up and will punt it out. And a nice punt there as it comes all the way out to midfield. Kate Springer wants to feed Griggs. Griggs ahead right side on the attack is Maggie Miller. Miller in the corner is going to center it, and the ball will bounce off of Padilla, and then she'll finally collect it back there on another shot on goal here for Wenatchee.
I thought he was going to blow the whistle there, but still has it.
He's got the whistle in his mouth, and there comes the whistle, and it will finally come to an end here where the Wenatchee Panthers will wrap up the second seed in the Big Nine and win it tonight by a final of 9-0. We will come back with more here from Wenatchee's Apple Bowl right after this.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. It's brought to you in part by the Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Wenatchee, thefireplaceguy.net. Beneficial in-home care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. And the Windmill Restaurant, providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Call 509-665-9529.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare's flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frapita mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frapitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. OneWayConstructionNW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service, located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home.
Choose the pros. Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Welcome back to Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl here on senior night, homecoming week, and a big night for the seniors as they knock off the Eisenhower Cadets by a final of 9-0, now joined by John Springer. And the high scorer of the night with the hat trick, Haley Matthews. What's all that offense that goes on there? You're normally back on the other end of the field.
Yeah, I've never played offense before. This was my first time up there. I was so nervous going into this. And then they're like, no, just like go shoot. You have a good shot. And so I did. And they luckily went in. So
tell me about that first goal that you got.
That first goal, I got a breakaway. I don't know exactly how, but I was like, please go in, please go in. And it did. So.
And then it looked like you got pretty aggressive there. That you wanted more than just that one.
Everybody was like, get the hat trick out there. And I was like, you know, like I scored one, like 2 more. Okay, like let's go. Like this is the game if I'm going to do it.
And talk about athleticism, that third one with the header. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
We've worked on that ever since I was little. John was my coach, and that was like our main goal. Like, if somebody scores a header, you get ice cream. So I was like, I'm gonna score a header.
Uh-oh, John. That means ice cream tonight.
Yeah, they don't forget that one, do they? That goes back a long time.
Yeah.
And it was a perfect ball from Ellie. Ellie looked up, saw it. It's just a perfect lob in there. It was perfect, yeah.
And how fun to both get you and Kenya out there. And, we thought Kenya was going to get one here towards the end, too. We were both rooting for that up in the booth during the game.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The girls were all cheering for her, too. She got an assist, so that was good. Yeah. But didn't quite get her goal. But it's a great opportunity for them to, they work hard. And, it's fun to try and flip the tide a little bit and give them some offensive chances.
Matt?
So now, Coach, I imagine your mind is just going to be swimming tonight because you've got a whole new option going forward with a prolific striker that you never knew you had.
Yeah, so we've tried to get Haley at forward for years, and way back in the club days, at times we tried to get her up there. So yeah, we might have to rethink that. I know you'd love that, Matt. Already subbing her in and out at halftime is already frustrating enough. Now we got to throw in a third dimension here.
Well, yeah, but it's a problem I'm sure you're going to love to have now that she's got a rock solid. She's ice cold in front of the net in both nets now. Going back to that first goal, I saw it 2 or 3 times on replay, and it was a solid shot. It wasn't a lucky shot, but I know seeing the goal in your position, it can get more often than not, players choke in that scenario.
Don't look at the keeper, don't look at the keeper, because I know that's everybody tells me, like the forwards are like, I look at you and I shoot it at you. I was like, okay, don't look at her, and then maybe I'll score.
Shoot it where the keeper's not.
Yeah.
But anyone that's seen Haley's goal kicks, she can get a hold of the ball. So if given a chance to shoot, go for it. And you're right. She's got a great shot.
In fact, when you got that free kicker in the second half, we thought you were going to have Kenya take that shot. Speaking of having a leg on a goal kick.
That's right. Yeah, that thought crossed our mind for sure. Yeah.
Well, you guys wrap up the number 2 seed tonight. I don't know if you heard, but Moses Lake knocked off Davis, so they are the regular season champs. You guys coming in at number 2. At least you don't have to worry about Saturday.
Yeah, that's huge, especially with it being homecoming. That would have I know several of the girls have nail appointments, hair appointments at 1 o'clock, and we're thinking, oh my gosh, how are we going to get this in? So anyway, no, that's a nice relief, and nice to get a week of practice in and get ready for Tuesday.
Haley, as a senior, how do you keep your emotions in check? Because I know that this has got to be emotional for you guys and all 9 seniors, and what a special night for you guys to have that halftime ceremony and things like that. How do you keep that all in check and focus on the game itself?
It's been rough, but like knowing that this is our last time like playing together has helped a lot, because we've been playing together since we were like 7 or 8, and like we never know exactly when our last time could be. So just like knowing that we put everything in every game, like that just kind of helps.
Well, you guys got, let's see, goals from Haley, of course, 3 from Haley in the first half, which is just fantastic. Also, Elliot with a couple of goals tonight. You had Hallie Stegman with 2 goals tonight, and Jaden finishing things off with that 9th goal here of the evening. Congratulations on the win. 2nd place. You can't wrinkle your nose at that, and I know you want to be playing your best come next week, postseason, and you got it right in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. If obviously we would have liked to have got one of those games last week and have a shot at the at the league title. But if we have to choose one or the other, we'll take district champs. So let's see if we can put some things together for the next few games and see what happens.
Well, we'll see what happens come next week. Wenatchee Panthers knock off the Ike Cadets tonight by a score of 9-0. On behalf of Matt Wisen and Dan Kuntz and Chelsea Craig and Jessica Medina, clear up on top. And, of course, we had Caitlin Hedersheet back in the studios. I'm Eric Granstrom. We appreciate you joining us. We've got more sports coming up later this week right here again as Wenatchee celebrates homecoming against Walla Walla. So be sure and join us for that. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching High School Sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Alignment Pros, Automoca, Color FX, Global Car Care, One Way Construction, and the Windmill Restaurant. NCWLIFE channel's coverage is also brought to you by Charter College and the Walkabout Grill. This concludes today's coverage of high school sports on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel.